James and Kayla, a young couple seeking respite from their hectic city lives, found solace in a secluded cabin nestled deep within Redwood National Park. Towering redwoods, ancient and majestic, stood sentinel around the cabin, their verdant canopy filtering the sunlight into emerald shards. The air hung heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth, a welcome change from the city's exhaust fumes. The cabin itself, though aged, exuded a rustic charm. Its wooden walls, weathered and worn, spoke of countless seasons past. A stone fireplace promised warmth and comfort on chilly evenings. James, an avid photographer, saw the cabin and its surroundings as an artist's paradise. Kayla, an aspiring writer, felt her creativity stir amidst the tranquility. The first day passed in a blur of unpacking and exploration. They hiked along winding trails, sunlight dappling through the leaves. They shared a simple meal, the silence broken only by the crackling fire and their soft laughter. As dusk settled, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, they retreated inside, a sense of peace washing over them. Little did they know that their idyllic retreat was about to morph into a terrifying encounter with the unknown, an experience that would forever etch itself into their minds. The first night began peacefully enough. The fire crackled in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the walls. Outside, the wind howled softly through the trees, a lullaby to their exhaustion. They drifted off to sleep, enveloped in the comforting embrace of each other and the quiet solitude of their surroundings. Kayla awoke with a start. The fire had dwindled to glowing embers, casting long, dancing shadows across the room. A chill snaked down her spine. She could have sworn she heard a whisper, a faint, ethereal sound just at the edge of her hearing. She sat up, heart pounding, straining to listen. The sound came again, a soft, indistinct murmur, seeming to emanate from the far corner of the room. It was not the wind, it was something else, something unsettling. Fear coiled in her stomach. She reached for James, but he slept soundly beside her, oblivious to the growing unease that gripped her. She lay back down, pulling the covers tight, trying to convince herself it was just her imagination. But the whisper lingered in the back of her mind, a chilling prelude to the horrors that awaited them. The next morning, Kayla tried to shake off the unease from the previous night. Sunlight streamed through the windows, painting the room in a warm glow. James, ever the optimist, dismissed her concerns as a bad dream. They decided to explore the cabin's dusty attic. Amongst cobwebs and forgotten relics, a large, ornately framed mirror caught Kayla's eye. Its gilded frame was tarnished with age, the glass itself clouded and murky, yet something about it drew her in. As she brushed away the dust, a shiver ran down her spine. For a fleeting moment, she could have sworn she saw a figure reflected in the glass, a shadowy silhouette that vanished as quickly as it appeared. Her breath caught in her throat. She stepped back, heart pounding. James, busy examining an old gramophone, didn't notice her distress. He laughed, pulling her close. "What secrets do you think this old place holds?" he asked, oblivious to the fear that gripped her. Kayla forced a smile, pushing down the growing sense of dread. The mirror, she decided, would remain untouched. By the third day, the atmosphere in the cabin had shifted. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy. The whisperings Kayla had heard grew stronger, more insistent, and now James heard them too. They sat by the fireplace, a blanket of unease settling upon them. The wind howled outside, mimicking the whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the cabin. They were surrounded. James, his usual cheerfulness replaced by a furrowed brow, paced the room, his gaze darting to every corner. The shadows seemed deeper now, more menacing. The laughter and light-hearted banter that had filled the cabin just days earlier were gone, replaced by a strained silence. That night, sleep offered no escape. The whispers intensified, morphing into guttural voices. The temperature plummeted, a bone-chilling cold seeping into their very bones. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. Terror, primal and consuming, took root in their hearts. Driven by a desperate need to escape the suffocating dread that had enveloped the cabin, they decided to leave. But as they made their way through the darkened living room, the unimaginable happened. The antique mirror, the one Kayla had discovered in the attic, became a portal, a swirling vortex of black smoke and blinding light. A figure emerged, its form shifting and contorting, its eyes burning with a malevolent fire. It was the embodiment of the whispers, the source of the bone-chilling cold. Pure terror, raw and consuming, washed over them. James, his face ashen, pushed Kayla behind him, his instincts to protect overriding his fear. The entity lunged. Adrenaline surged through James. He grabbed Kayla's hand, pulling her towards the cabin door. They stumbled through the darkness, the entity's enraged screams echoing behind them. The cabin, once a sanctuary, had become a hunting ground. They burst out into the night, the icy air stinging their lungs. The forest, bathed in the pale moonlight, seemed to close in around them. The trees, like gnarled fingers, reaching out to ensnare them, but they didn't stop. They couldn't. Not while that thing was behind them. They ran until their lungs burned and their legs screamed for mercy, the distant roar of the entity spurring them onward. Finally, they stumbled into a clearing, collapsing onto the cold, hard ground, gasping for breath. As they lay there, hearts pounding, they dared to hope that they had escaped. They never returned to the cabin. The memory of that night, the chilling whispers, the bone-chilling cold, the grotesque entity, it haunted their dreams, their every waking moment. They tried to move on, to rebuild their lives, but the terror lingered. They found no solace in their escape. The haunting whispers followed them, echoing in the stillness of the night, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the veil of reality. They were forever changed, marked by an encounter with the unknown that defied explanation. And the mirror, it remained in the abandoned cabin, a portal to terror, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon its secrets. The haunting continues.